It is time! What's going on, guys? Jordan for Flyers is here with a revamp of sorts to the channel. I'm here to welcome you to part 1 of the Pokemon Diamond Randomizer Nuzlocke. So, while we're going through the opening here, I will be right back. Because in my hand right now, I have a list of everything that I have randomized in this particular ROM. Not going to be talking with the intro here. Before I start playing, hopefully I will say everything. But first of all, me beginning this project is in light of the fact that I now finally have a new laptop to work with. So I'm hoping that with that comes a whole new ability to create some more content for you guys. So, let's hope this goes well. So, with the universal randomizer that people use to create these randomized ROMs of Pokemon games, there's a whole bunch of different things that you can do. So I'm going to just kind of run through everything. No info needed, thank you. Here, touch the button on this ball, if you please. Touch. It's a Munchlax. Okay, so the things that I have randomized. For Pokemon traits, I didn't mess around with that too much. The only thing that I really changed is that there's no such thing as trade evolutions, because, you know, that's not really a thing I can do. Sorry, I'll try and press the A button while I'm reading here. For the starters, static Pokemon, and trades. I didn't change anything with trades because I doubt I'm going to be trading at all. The starters are random, and the static encounters are random. And they're completely random. They're not, like, they give you the option to make the starters, like, a basic Pokemon with 2 evolutions, and they give you the option for static encounters to be like, if it's a legendary Pokemon, then it still is a legendary Pokemon. It's just a random legendary Pokemon. I am one singular boy. So yeah, it's completely random starters and completely random static encounters. My name is Jordan. As far as moves and movesets, I didn't change anything there. I did seriously consider changing movesets slightly because there are certain Pokemon, like Ninetales comes to mind, whose level up moveset is complete and utter trash. But Ninetales itself is a pretty decent Pokemon. My rival is Nick, by the way, because, you know, who else? I'm sorry for the clicking. That's what I'm going to be using for the touch screen of the what would normally be the touch screen of the DS. So yeah, I didn't change moves and movesets. I instead changed something else that I'll mention a little later. So for trainer Pokemon, I did randomize the trainer Pokemon. So every trainer in the game, gonna be random. No early Wonder Guard, because why the hell would you want early Wonder Guard? The trainer names and trainer classes are randomized. I also changed it so that trainers Pokemon would be 10% leveled higher. I figure, you know, in a sense, Pokemon games are a little bit easy in that, you know, you find a lot of trainers along the way whose Pokemon are just not quite leveled up to your standards, so I figured that'll throw in just a bit more of a challenge. One other thing that I did with trainer Pokemon, which is a thing that I was kind of debating doing, but I figured, you know what? I think this will actually be a decent idea, is I made it so that any trainer Pokemon level 35 and above are forced to be fully evolved. So that means up until level 34, I think it's up to level 34 and not up to level 35, but I think everything level 34 and below can be randomized to any Pokemon. Talking about trainer Pokemon still. If it's at least level 35, then it will be a fully evolved Pokemon. Now, that means it can be, like, a fully evolved thing. It can be something with no evolutionary tree. It can be legendary. So, again, that kind of adds to the challenge of what I'm trying to create here. So that's all I've done for trainer Pokemon. For wild Pokemon, random wild Pokemon, because why the hell would you not have random wild Pokemon? I set it to a thing called Catch-em-all mode. Basically what that means is in each route or in each area, any single encounter that would normally be there, such as like, for this game, it would be Starly in the first route. So rather than it being mapped to Starly in Route 1, it'll be mapped to a different, completely random Pokemon. And the way I understand it is, if a particular Pokemon, like let's say Nidorino, gets chosen to be mapped as Starly in the first route, Nidorino cannot be chosen again to be mapped to another route until every single Pokemon has been mapped to a particular area in the game. That's the way I understand it. So basically what that means is I will have a whole lot more variety of encounters. Which, I mean, again, I like the idea. As for wild Pokemon, I also made it so that they have random held items. So they are, they could possibly be holding, like, Pokeballs. They could be holding potions. I made it so that they're banning bad items. The randomizer said the example of bad items are berries or mail. You know, something that you wouldn't often use. I mean, the argument can be made for berries, obviously, but I made it so that held items of Pokemon are, you know, they're decent at least. Something I need to mention about this ROM, first of all, before I finish off what I've randomized. I know I said I got a new laptop and everything. This is a new laptop, promise. I got this literally, like, last week. I've downloaded pretty well everything that I would need for recording purposes, and there's still a heck of a lot of space left on the hard drive. This, however, does not appear to be a very good laptop, or a very good kind of laptop, to run DS emulators very well. In particular, Pokemon DS emulators. Why I say that is because anytime... I've tested this because I've played through a different randomized file of Pokemon Diamond. The reason I say this, as I plug in my laptop, is because anytime I am in the main overworld area, not in houses or in caves or in a menu or in a battle, anytime I'm in, like, a route or a city, the frame rate drops exponentially. That, to my knowledge, and I've kind of tried tweaking things and it's not really worked, so that, to my knowledge, is not a fixable thing. So I apologize. I'm going to kind of keep the game audio down just so it's not so noticeable. But you will notice that traveling over main areas is a little more of a pain. I'm afraid there's not too much I can do about that yet. Okay, so again, before I get back to my randomized things, we are here with our starters getting attacked by Starly. It is time to find out what our starters are. In the Turtwig slot, we have Dratini! Early game Dragon Rage, that is incredible. So we have Dratini, already a pseudo-legendary choice. We have Chansey, that is a cool thing. Okay, Chansey, that's cool. And in the Piplup spot, we have female Nidoran. Okay, I mean, hell, we just finished up our Fire Red Randomizer Nuzlocke. We could very easily bring back Lizzie. So, here's the thing. Early game Dragon Rage can be incredible. I don't want to make it that easy on myself. So, Dratini, and I don't like the idea of having pseudo-legendaries on my team either. Again, it makes it so it's just, you're blowing through everything. It's not a challenge. That's not what I want. As for female Nidoran, it's a thing that I've very recently used for an entire playthrough, literally. So, again, I'm a little on the edge of that, and also her level up moveset I don't think is too great. Chansey, the thing with Chansey that I wanted to say a little earlier as I saw it was I'm not really a fan of using normal type Pokemon just because of how completely useless it is. Because, you know, it's not super effective against anything, and fighting types absolutely obliterate them. But in a sense, that can be an upside to normal types because while it doesn't really resist a whole lot, in fact, it doesn't resist anything besides Ghost, which it's immune to, it does also deal, you know, decent damage to pretty well everything except for Rock, Steel, Ghost. So I'm going to choose Chansey. And we're going to do this with a Chansey. So yeah, you'll notice there, like, I was in the overworld, and then as I got into the battle, the frame rate got to pretty well what it normally should be. So, I'm afraid that's the thing we're gonna have to get used to. So, Chansey's got Pound, and that's the other thing with using normal type Pokemon, is normal type moves are by far the most common, and you get stabbed for them. So, I guess that's nice. Thanks for growling me, Starly. That's something that I don't appreciate, actually. Okay, so while we're getting through this battle and getting through the whole tutorial thing at the beginning of the game, I will finish off what I've randomized. The next thing that I need to get to is TMs and HMs, and this is where I kind of tried to balance out people with shitty movesets. TMs are random. That means that any TM can be changed to be, like, I could get a TM for Spatial Rend. I could get a TM for Fire Blast, although I think that is normally a TM in a different Pokemon game. But, things that I did to kind of tweak the change to TMs, at least 20% of TMs are quote-unquote good damaging moves. So I'm assuming that just means, like, it's, you know, something along the lines of Thunderbolt, Flamethrower. I don't know if it would be as weak as, like, Water Pulse or even Ember. I don't know what it really qualifies as good damaging moves, but the option was there, and I figured, you know what? Rather than getting 100 TMs that are, you know, Constrict, Bind, I'm not doing that. So, the thing that I did to kind of tweak movesets of Pokemon that are normally pretty bad at learning moves, I made TMs randomly compatible, but preferring the same type. So, what that means is, let's say, for instance, that I get the TM for Thunderbolt, okay? So, for any Pokemon that is electric type, or at least like electric plus a different type, like let's say it's either Magnezone or Raichu, same diff, at least they're electric type in one sense. There is a 90% chance that this particular TM for Thunderbolt will be compatible with any electric move, or electric Pokemon rather. There is a 50% chance, if the TM is a normal move, that it will be compatible with any Pokemon, with the exception of if it's a normal type Pokemon. So if I get the TM for Egg Bomb, let's say, which I would love to put on Chansey, by the way, but I know it learns it by level up pretty soon, too. With Chansey, it would be a 90% chance of learning it, because it is also normal type. By the way, I have running shoes now. I've not been paying attention at all to the story of the game because I've been trying to read off what I'm doing here. If I get the TM for Egg Bomb and I would want to teach it to, say, the Dratini that I had the potential to pick up, then it would have a 50% chance of learning it because it's a normal move, but it's not a normal Pokemon. And it's 25% otherwise. So I could theoretically get the TM for Fighter Blast and be able to teach it to, like, a Ludicolo. There's a 25% chance of that happening. It's not a great chance, I know, but that's just the quote-unquote other spot of this. There's Metagrosses on this route! Okay! Whoa! That's something to hopefully look forward to. Not that I'd be able to catch it with the normal Pokeballs that I'd get. I know there's an item down here. The only other thing that I have randomized is field items. Mickleberry. That's what I wanted. Field items are random. That means, like, hidden items like the thing that I just picked up. Like, that is normally not a Mickleberry, but it was there. And, you know, the little Pokeball items that you find everywhere. Those are also random. The only items that you get that aren't random are the things that you get from trainers or random NPCs, such as... Wow, that was a frame rate issue that I just had. My thing is plugged in. Give me a darn second. That's my bad. Okay, we're all good. So, yeah, like, items that you would get from NPCs or, like, from winning a trainer battle, say. Those don't change. Unless it's a TM. That, like I've said, those are random. But field items, for the most part, are random. There's Togepie's on this route. Having a Togekiss would be pretty cool. It's another normal type, I know, but whatever. For now, I am not going to worry about fighting things. In fact, I'm probably just going to go through this whole thing with Professor Rowan and then end off the pilot episode there. What's up, Dawn? The professor is waiting. So, of course, if I can find a fix to this frame rate issue that we are experiencing right now, then obviously I'm going to take it. I've not really seen anything that would be able to fix it, is the problem. So I might have to do some exploring through the settings of the ROM and see if there's anything that I can possibly do. So I've gone through the whole thing of what I've randomized. I haven't really explained what I'm doing in this playthrough yet. So this is going to be a Nuzlocke. So for those of you who don't know what a Nuzlocke is, there's 3 basic rules. The first rule of which is you have to name every encounter you get, which is what I'm doing right now. What we name Chansey is a different story entirely, but I think just naming it Joy is a good enough thing to do. Because, you know, nurse. Yep. Joy the Chansey. So the other 2 rules of Nuzlocke are, first of all, you can only capture the first Pokemon that you encounter on any given route or city or area or what have you. What I love about Pokemon Diamond and, like, the Sinnoh region games is there are so many places that you can get encounters. It's beautiful. That's something that I really don't like about the 5th generation. Which I would normally call, like, one of my favorite generations along with this one. People seem to shit on 5th gen, and I don't understand why. But yeah, you can only capture the first Pokemon on any given area. And the other rule is, if your Pokemon faints, it is considered kaput. It's dead, it's gone, RIP, funerals next Monday, and it's gone. So you can either release the Pokemon, or you can just put it in your PC never to be used again. The argument can be made for, you know, if you can use it as an HM slave. That's kind of something I'm iffy on. If I absolutely have to, then I will, but I doubt I will have to. By the way, that was another thing that I was seriously considering in the randomizer was there's an option to make HMs 100% compatible with things, and I feel like I've already fucked around with the compatibility of things with the TMs already, so I didn't want to stretch it so far as to be able to teach a Probopass fly. I know it can learn Magnet Rise, but not fly. I mentioned Probopass because that's currently what I'm using in my other file of this. I'm gonna try not to mention that too much, but, you know. I will run back to Mommy and explain to her that I am going on a big, grand adventure with my egg. And then we will end the episode there. Give me a sec. What's up, Mom? I'm going on a journey. Okay, I'll sleep first, sure. Never really understood why she forces you to go to sleep before you explain your adventure to her. Journal! Yay! Thing that I'm never using. Blah, blah, blah. Journey full of adventure. I know you're a contest star, so don't talk to me like you've never had a journey full of adventure. I know you have Pokemon of your own. I see that Lopunny hiding in the closet. Yeah, Nick's mom. Something about Nick's mom. Nick's mom wants something. Nick's mom. Blah, blah, blah. Nick's mom. Nick's mom. What do you want, Nick's mom? Nick's mom gave me the parcel. Thank you, Nick's mom. Knowing Nick's mom's boy. AKA Nick. Alright. That is going to be the end of our pilot episode. I am so excited to get this started. I'm not going to save until I figure out if the recording actually worked. I'm trying to learn from my mistakes, so for now, save state. And we will see you guys, hopefully, for episode 2 of our Pokemon Diamond Randomizer Nuzlocke. I'm going to have to try so hard not to say Fire Red Randomizer Taglock. That's going to be hard. Thank you guys for watching. Let's have more fun next time.